Welcome to Hollywood Studios. The Hollywood that always was and never will be. It's early entry for park guests. It starts at 8 o'clock. It's about 10 till, so we're in just a little early. I love their smaller version of Main Street, looking more like a, rather than a turn-of-the-century town, the Hollywood when Walt first came to California. So you have really cool decorations like, well, you know, the kind of Art Deco decorations overall. You have these street signs that actually work. I mean, they don't mean anything. Like, it says stop. No, there are no vehicles that are going to stop there. Eventually it'll switch to go. Over that way is one entrance to Star Wars Land, as well as the Muppets. You can see Gertie the dinosaur. And the weenie of the park, the thing that draws you in, weenie is a phrase that Walt used to use, is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is that way. But we're taking a right because we want to ride Tower of Terror. Everyone else will be running to Rise of the Resistance, or if you have little kids, Slinky Dog, and that frees us up to come ride the Tower of Terror, assuming that it is not down for technical maintenance or something like that, because often it is when we first get in the park.
No line there, not a good thing.
There are people down there lining up, and there's a dude with a sign, so that's a good sign. And then they have other shops down this way too. I mean, there's always shops, but I love the old Hollywood look of these shops. And of course they sell Disney merchandise. If you're walking down towards the Tower of Terror, or the Rock and Roller Coaster, which is to the left if you get down there, there is a restroom over here on the right hand side. And all the restrooms are clean, so they're all good. That one's a busy one because it's the only one along this stretch. But there are also restrooms down at the end of this in those stone buildings that you see there. And then there's some restaurants over here. There's some quick service stuff like produce if you want to grab something like a banana or an orange, chips, a quick drink. It's a good place to go. Otherwise, you do have some, nothing over here is a sit down. Those are all behind us, but there are a number of different quick service with different kinds of foods. To the right, as you get down here, is the Beauty and the Beast stage, or Theater of the Stars, where they show Beauty and the Beast. I think I have a video of the Beauty and the Beast show way back in one of my earlier videos. We don't do that every time we're here. I like stage shows. This one's just fine, but it hasn't really changed in a long time, so we haven't gone to see it in a long time. Then also down here, although not running at the moment, I mean, at this very moment, it will run tonight, is Fantasmic. The entrance to that is right there, next to this theater. You kind of go all the way back to this little stadium thing, so it can fit a lot of people. And it looks like Rock and Roller Coaster is down. I don't know if it's just permanently or not. I'd heard that they were working on it and people were speculating on a retheme, but nothing's been confirmed yet. I do want to go read that sign though. But anyway, once you get to the end of the street, you come up here into the line, and they're expecting long lines today. That's why they have these stanchions up, but otherwise, you just come up through here. Good morning. And then work your way through the queue, and you get beautiful views of the Tower of Terror. Because pretty much after this point, it's a Saturday today. If we didn't do this early, this ride is going to be at 2 hours all day long. Especially with Rock and Roller Coaster down, all of the other rides have to absorb the people that would be waiting in that line.
Glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town at the height of its golden age, the Hollywood Tower Hotel was a star in its own right, a beacon for the show business elite. Now, something is about to happen that will change all that.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. That was quite a bit.
The next time you check into a deserted hotel on the dark side of Hollywood, make sure you know just what kind of vacancy you're filling, or you may find yourself a permanent resident of the Twilight Zone.
Done with the Tower of Terror. I was taking a look to see if that opened yet. I think it's going to be down all day. They don't usually close the gates if it's just a temporary closure. I was mentioning earlier that I heard that they were going to refurbish the whole thing and change the theming away from Aerosmith to something else, and there's been a lot of rumors for a long time. And Steven Tyler has been in some legal trouble recently, which might have precipitated that. That was our guess. But then I read something that it's just being refurbished and it's going to come back and be just like it was before. So I don't know what the truth is, and Disney is being tight-lipped about it. So I'm sure there'll be more news to come on that. It's just rough in a park like this that doesn't have a lot of rides. When one of the really big ones is down, then they have to find something else to do with those people, and it makes all the other lines longer. As you can tell, we're walking back down. I think this is Sunset Boulevard. Each of these streets have a name.
One is Sunset and one is Hollywood. I believe this is Sunset.
I think, yeah, Josh says he thinks we're on Sunset too.
I think, yeah, Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep.
And this has got to be Sunset.
Hollywood Boulevard is forward, according to that sign, so we're on Sunset. We're gonna try to get over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. The park technically has not opened yet. It's only open for resort guests, and we've already done a ride. I think we can get at least one more in before the park is open to everybody else. And so having said that, it's really your choice whether or not you think Walt Disney World Resort is worth staying at. There are definitely some perks that you get, not as many as you used to. One of the perks is being able to stay in the parks or get into the parks earlier. And if you're at a deluxe, then you can also stay at some parks later. We don't usually stay at the deluxe. We did during the pandemic time because the prices for the deluxe were a lot more reasonable. Otherwise, they're very expensive to stay at. Not surprisingly, they're called deluxe, you know. I think the low end, they'd be $450 a night. Higher ones are in the $1,200s a night, but you know, you're talking about the really, really fancy presidential suites for that price. And you're on the monorail, or you have animals outside at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, where you have, you know, a giraffe coming up to your balcony. So there are reasons to do that. Josh and I typically stay in the value resorts. We call them the economy, but the term is value. Usually the Pop Century or one of the All-Star resorts, because we don't plan to spend a lot of time at the resorts. And when we do, the amenities there are exactly what we need. One thing you don't get anymore as of this year, the Magical Express.
No, that was last year.
Maybe it was last year, yeah.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. So they used to have the free transportation from the airport to the resorts, and it was part of your cost. I shouldn't say free, but it was part of your cost. And now they've split off. It was always another company doing that. It's Mears, which is a big company out here that does transportation. They just had removed the Disney branding from it, but Disney was never the one who ran that. So now that's an extra cost on top of. But you also have other options like Ubers or taxis or other type of ride shares. There's a Sunshine Flyer that's very similar to Mears. And so there are a lot of different options. I mean, I think Disney did it as a cost-cutting measure and then tried to make it look like it was great for people. But honestly, it sucks that you have to pay for something that you used to get for free. But obviously, we still do it. The next ride is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is Mickey Mouse in Perfect Picnic. It's in the old man Chinese theater, so that explains the decorations that you see here. This is where the Great Movie Ride used to be, and I know this is a controversial opinion, but I do enjoy Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway more than I enjoyed the Great Movie Ride. I mean, I still rode it when we came here, but I like this a lot better. But many people disagree with that, and none of us are wrong. It just depends on your preference, but I do really enjoy the way this is set up. We've been to the outside of the Chinese theater. Oh yeah, look at that foyer over there. Back when theaters were so glamorous. We've been to the outside of the Man's Chinese Theater or I guess it's Grauman's Chinese Theater now, in LA, but we haven't been on the inside. See, it's all Minnie's fault.
Want to take a ride on the train?
Boom, 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 boom. I love the sun. And Mickey and Minnie driving. And I think we missed the Dapper Dance. They go by on a tandem bike.
Hey, Mickey,
Hey, Mickey. I love the 3D Mickey and Minnie. Usually somebody in the popcorn booth. Tornado.
Oh boy, we made it! Nothing can stop us now!
Uh-oh. We're in our own little individualized rooms for this scene. And although there is movement and it's not quite motion ride, and now this whole space out here has changed. Daisy.
Welcome, dancers, welcome! Ready, and... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, excellent! You're all waltzing so beautifully together. Oh. Now, let's...
This part's kind of herky-jerky. And then we connect with Goofy again.
That concludes my guided tour. Hope you had a relaxing ride around the park. And thanks for sticking
I love
with
the
me.
barking Pluto.
Bye, picnickers. Don't...
Heading into Rise of the Resistance. We weren't necessarily going to ride this, but we got two of the big ones out of the way, and Rock and Roller Coaster isn't up, so we decided to take the time to ride it. One of the nice things about this queue is there's a lot to look at. Like, you come across these lockers with, those are like breathers that they used in the second movie when they were inside the Space Worm. And now we have outfits. So these are like lockers, helmets, side bags, flight suits, various colors for various vehicles. It's just cool. Stuff to look at. I like queues that are something other than a bunch of switchbacks. I mean, these are a lot of switchbacks, but at least there's something to look at visually in them. And we can tell we're getting closer too. Yeah, and of course they're all caged up. There's no way to open them. I mean, for us to open them, because people would probably steal them. And we're in. This is the first part of the pre-show. We definitely did not wait the 2 hours that it said we waited. We weren't paying attention, but it definitely was not 2 hours. I'm not even sure if it was an hour, which I'm okay with. I'd rather the underestimation.
Incoming transmission from Ray.
So nice.
Is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep?
Screw you.
Please, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn.
I'm sure that's not what he says, but boy, it sounds like that.
That is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara. I'll regroup with you there. The Resistance desperately needs your help in our fight against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Pucara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
Affirmative. Transport is ready. 9 Nominai shall personally see them delivered.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
Commander Poe Dameron and a squadron of X-Wings shall escort us to the...
Hey, look, it's Moon Knight. And the leader of House Atreus.
I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. Well, no time to waste. Let's get you on your way to the General.
In motion.
That's technically Poe Dameron in there. You can see BB-8 up there in the droid area. There's got to be a name for that. And then we have our transport. That's so cool. Here we go. We're all taking off. And there's screens on both sides where they are.
I am Lieutenant Beck.
Great animatronic. And back there's the back screens.
Red 2, Blue 5, keep tight now. Let's get ready to make that jump to light speed online.
Here are our helpers. 1 named person and 2 extras. I don't have a lot of faith that those extras are going to make it.
BB-8, what do you got?
There appear to be a number of small craft heading our way. Raise the shields.
We got company, First Order TIE fighters. Reroute! Red 2, Blue 5, we got a clear path so transport can make a jump. They're all over us. I'm hit.
Lost Red 2, more incoming. Blue 5 taking evasive action.
Try to shake him, Blue.
I'm trying,
We lost Blue 5. I'm gonna try to draw him away.
Copy that. Get us clear so we can make the jump.
Be ready, you won't have much time.
Where are all those TIE fighters coming from? Star Destroyers.
Get out of there!
We can't.
We're caught in a tractor beam.
He's pulling us in.
I'll get some fronts and make this a fair fight. Don't worry, I'm coming back for you. Stay strong.
Stand back from those doors.
Resistance spies. The ship is now under the command of the First Order. You will exit now and proceed down the corridor for processing. All of you, get out.
No matter how many times I see this, it is still exceptionally impressive. And the life-size TIE fighter, and the giant screen that looks like it goes out, and it's just freaking amazing.
How many on the left? How many on the left?
Oh, interesting. They usually don't have somebody there. I always tell, there's 2 lines. Get in the one that has less people. Don't always follow everybody in front of you. When you get sorted, you also go left or right. So there's an area over there and an area over here. So there's 2 actual ride areas that you can go to. I know I've said this in other videos, but man, I just want to get in there and press buttons and pretend. Even though I'm an adult, I would get in there and play pretend for the hell out of that. I love the stormtroopers.
You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay.
The resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
You're needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
Convenient. It's the resistance. This is R5. He's going to be taking us around. Hi, R5. Nice to see you again. Yeah, everything is just slightly delayed.
Take this corridor to the turbo lift, then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batu. Hurry and don't get caught. Lieutenant Beck will guide you.
Recruits, for your safety, stay seated with seatbelts securely fastened. Keep hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport and supervise your children.
Probe droid!
A probe droid? You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners.
Take cover! I love the battle damage that appears when they shoot.
Who picked these two droids anyway?
Oh. Oh yeah, we're doing the good one. I like this elevator over here.
If anyone's back in a blaster, now's a good time. The escape pod's just below us. Why are you going up? I said down. Up is bad. Up is real bad.
Run! Stop!
The resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields.
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Stop! The prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Oh, we're safe now. Such a great effect. These cannons used to move forward and back when they fired, but they haven't in a while. And there it is, everyone. The famous Star War. Oh.
Attention, all resistance personnel. Abandon ship. I repeat, abandon ship. This destroyer is about. There's no escape. You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the resistance.
Oh, thank goodness for explosive decompression. Escape pods. Suddenly becomes a motion simulator.
Okay, you're clear.
Your escape pods came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
Decided to drop by the marketplace here in Batu. Lots of Star Wars merchandise in just different stores. Like some of them are like tchotchkes, mugs. There's always mugs. There's clothing. They have stuff like, you know, your typical kind of like, hey, I'm wearing this because it's from here kind of clothing. There's the mugs and stuff over there. But then they also have more specialized outfits over here, excuse me, where it's very much like in-universe kind of outfits, right? Obi-Wan robes, the hats. There's like Luke, the Luke robe that he wore. So these are more traditional movie style, like costumes. And Boba Fett gauntlets, that's cool. And a jetpack. And the helmet. Not the armor though, obviously. And then here are some, oh, it beeped at me. Plush toys. The plushies are $22.99, so $23, I think all of them are. I like the Jawa, and I like the porgs. They have some patches you can buy, and you can also get Life Day. You can tell these are left over from last year. They're 2022. I guess they weren't as popular as people thought. And one would think that they were on sale, but they're not, even though they're outdated. They have a primer for the different letters in Arabic, which you can actually use to translate stuff around the land. And they have pins and keychains. Ooh, excuse me. I mean, I know this throw looks like burlap, but it actually is very comfortable. It's very soft. Oh, this is $60, and it has that as a design. Oh, pardon me. And now that was outside. How much is this, by the way? I don't want one, but it's actually a very nice light coat. Pullover. 50. But yeah, if you just needed a light coat, that's perfect. And they have posters that you can hang up, and handkerchiefs or kitchen towels, and then cups. Oh, they're hoods like up there. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, in Florida they'd be great. Keep the sun off your neck and your head. More cups. How much are the cups? They're just plastic, but I love these kinds of things. $10, that's not bad for a cup. Yeah, if you're interested in Nina's merchandise. Here's a t-shirt, $37 for a t-shirt? That seems like a lot. Here we have Ronto's Roasters, where they're cooking the meat next to a thruster, and it's being turned on a spit. Like, you know, we cook meat on a fire. I have a feeling the stuff that comes out of a thruster is not just heat, right? Like, especially if it's a spaceship. So what are these meat being infused with? Some kind of radiation? I guess we'll never know. Anyway, Ronto Roasters is pretty good if you want to have one. It's like sausage wrapped up in like a pita bread, and then there's some other stuff depending on if you get the breakfast one or the lunch one. We've had them in our other videos before. I like them. The real prize of this land is the Millennium Falcon, life-sized Millennium Falcon. Oh hey, look, it's Kylo Ren and a couple of stormtroopers walking around. Interesting. And then behind that, look at this beautiful rock work. It is gorgeous. This land is gorgeous. It's not huge, but it is incredibly well themed. And the things that they do have are amazing. And they plus it up with having people walking around like Kylo and a couple of stormtroopers. They always draw crowds. We are heading to Smugglers Run, which is why we're over here next to the Millennium Falcon. The standby time is 105 minutes. So we're gonna try the single rider, see if we have some luck with that. Single rider was definitely the right choice because it was a walk-on for us. when you get to an area in single rider, you have to go either up a front stairs or back stairs, and people don't always see the back stairs unless there's already people in it. So if you get there, don't immediately go up the first stairs you see. Take a U-turn and go up the other stairs. There's always less people in the house. And this is a good example of that. Josh went up one stair and I went up the other. His had people in it, mine had nobody. I just love looking at all the buttons and stuff. These ones might actually do something, but otherwise, you're in the, essentially the lounge of the Millennium Falcon, which is pretty cool. And there's Josh over there. We got separated because we're single riders. Sometimes we go together, but usually we're separated when we do single riders.
We always say here at Donaka Transport Solutions, get out of here and go make Hondo some money. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right. Pull back on the stick to fly out. And push forward to fly down. Watch it. Chewie is flying. Things look easy, eh? Weapons are online. Left pilot, hit the boosters. Now let's go get that coaxium. Right pilot, make the jump to light speed.
Pull it!
Eyes are protecting the train. Take them out. They've locked onto us. Take base in action.
Anytime damage gets taken, I have to push buttons over here, which is cool. Ah.
There it is.
There we go.
Shoot the cargo breed. Left pilot, brakes.
Oh, you're bad pilot.
My friends, that could have been much worse. Okay, it's much worse. Coaxium. Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car. Flight engineers, fire the harpoons and feed us in. Gunners, shoot the train. Yes, keep mashing those controls.
They're doing pretty good.
That cargo's breaking. Keep shooting.
Come on. Yes.
Good job, my friend.
All right.
Yes. We got the coaxium. I will grab it. You keep up to the train. Gunship. Oh, that's ridiculous. Things are getting too hot. Get out of here. A distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, let's get out of here.
Star Destroyer is collapsing. Left pilot, hit the boosters. Boost. We made it. I don't believe it, but we made it. Now, let's get out. Your hyperdrive has failed. Pilots, evasive maneuvers. We've got company.
This part.
Chewie's right.
This part you only do if there's a delay.
Was back to the resistance. Two more. He's the last. You did it. Watch out! That's going to be.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, Chewie will pilot us in. You retreat through
That's a good group.
Coaxium. This will greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud. Ooh. Now, after my modest profit, your cut,
See how we did.
minus what you owe me for
Pretty good,
damage
actually.
is, hey,
Yeah,
not bad.
that's really good. My crew was pretty good. I had to do some stuff, but they flew pretty well. We had a family and 2 single riders, although the dude, I think, went through the whole line, maybe not realizing there was a single rider line. he was one of the pilots, and then there's a family, and then I was an engineer with the mom of the family. And there's 3 positions. There's pilots, there's gunners, and there's the engineers, which is what I was. My favorite is the pilot, because I think it's just the most fun. But my second favorite is an engineer, which I usually am if I do the single rider. On occasion you end up as a gunner, which I don't think is as interesting, but gunner's a great position for if you have little kids, because they mostly just have to hit one button over and over and over and over again, and they're helping, and so it's worthwhile. But yeah, it is a really fun ride. It's a video game and a ride at the same time. Everybody has something to do. You're not just sitting there watching it unfold. There are parts you have to play in it. We're back in the marketplace, and Josh just explaining to somebody behind us, but essentially there's regular butter popcorn, and then the outpost one is a sweet and savory flavor, and they have cold brew that essentially has chocolate puffs. It's Cocoa Puffs. It's a cold brew coffee with Cocoa Puffs in it. Josh has had that before and he likes it, and I think you just get with chocolate liqueur. Okay, that's why it goes up so much, because it's probably got like Kahlua or something. Or no, I'm sorry, chocolate liqueur, not coffee liqueur. Then you can get a soda or water, but the popcorn the outpost popcorn mix is what we come here for. It's the little things at Disney that make it so interesting. Like we were looking at this container here, which is pretty much just a popcorn machine inside, but what they built around it is this whole thing where like this could come down and cover it up as like some kind of blast door. It has like a fire, quote unquote, down there, which is really just blinking lights, but it makes it seem like it's more like a furnace. And we were really admiring the welding that's been done to put these together. They're not trying to hide it. It's made in such a way as to be decorative, but none of it works. Like this isn't a furnace, and this doesn't slide up and down. It's just a place to contain the popcorn when they're popping it, and that makes it really cool. All right, here is what it looks like. That's the outpost mix, which remind me, Josh, what are those flavors?
Blueberry lemon pound cake.
Blueberry lemon pound cake is the bluish one, purplish.
And that's a chili lime.
And a chili lime. And this is that coffee with cold cream cheese and Cocoa Puffs. As you can tell, we've walked into Toy Story Land. See it behind me. And in front of me, that's the Slinky Dog coaster there. We passed the alien swirling saucers over there, which is 60 minutes, 60. When that's at 60, you can tell it's a busy day. Oh, a whole family with Oswald ears. If you know me, you know how much I love Oswald. Not only do I love bunnies, but I love the fact that he was essentially the original Mickey, but Walt lost the rights. It's an interesting story. Look it up sometime, but they did get the rights back to Oswald, well, recently, but within the last, like, I don't know, 15 years, 10, 15 years. So I'm not sure how recent that is, but they didn't have it for many decades. And they traded the rights for a sportscaster, I think. I don't remember which one it is.
Part of the deal with the
It's part of the deal with the sportscaster. And the story goes, they're like, hey, yeah, sure, we'll trade this person, and we want this, Oswald. And the people were like, what is that? They weren't using it, and it had fallen out of popular consciousness. So this is Woody's Lunchbox. It is a counter service restaurant. Serves really good tachos. They're like nachos, but it's tots instead of chips. Tater tots. We've had that before and we've really enjoyed it, but we're getting close to lunch, so we don't want to eat anything else right now. Over here is Midway Games, the Toy Story, that is also a ride in the game, just like Smugglers Run was. But here you're going through various carnival games, and you have a trigger that you pull. It's more like a string that you pull on a gun, and it does various things for the carnival games. You wear 3D glasses. It's pretty cool, actually. I really enjoy that, but we're not always willing to wait for it. Oh, and they have Woody and Jesse out meeting with people, and then there's Army Men over there. Oh, he's walking away now, but he was interacting with groups, but it's cool. Again, this is not a huge area, but it's themed incredibly well, like Andy's backyard. I love the Christmas lights, which actually light up during the nighttime, on the Tinker Toys to hold everything up. And technically he built the whole roller coaster. Yeah, the wait time is 85 minutes. No, thank you. I like that ride, but not 85 minutes worth. And something I'm really excited about is the Rodeo Roundup. They have another sit-down restaurant in Hollywood Studios. It just opened, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. It's that recent. And it's an all-you-can-eat barbecue place. Now, you know Josh and I are not normally all-you-can-eat people, although we do really like barbecue. Yeah, we do like Disney barbecue a lot. There was this place in Disneyland that we used to go to, Big Thunder Ranch. Oh, we miss it so much. Anyway, we are not doing this time, but we are doing this on our next trip to this park, which is in a couple weeks. Which is funny for me to say that because earlier I said that we don't come here all the time. We're planning on coming in 2 weeks. That was our normal time that we come because Josh has a spring break from one of his schools. Or it's actually a break between semesters. It's not quite spring break. And so we booked a trip for that time. And then we realized that we had some points with our airline. We usually fly Frontier that we were gonna lose if we didn't use them. So we thought, well, what can we do? And we decided to do a quick weekend trip this weekend. That wasn't originally part of the plan. But anyway, we're looking forward to coming here and trying this. I think it will be, I think it'll be wonderful. I love barbecue. If people know anything about me, they know I love barbecue, which is weird because my mom doesn't like barbecue and I don't understand that. How can you not like barbecue? But that's it. That's Toy Story Land. We just walked through it pretty much while I was talking to you. And there is a lot to do here. There's 3 rides. There's the Toy Story Mania, there's the Slinky Dog Coaster, and then there's the Alien Swirling Saucers, which is kind of a whip ride, similar to Mater's or a Tilt-A-Whirl, really, in a way. Not exactly, but similar, just different theming. But yeah, I've always thought this land was awesome. There's just not a lot for us to do in it. Like, we'd rather ride a coaster that's more thrilling. Like, this is a fun coaster, don't get me wrong, and if you're a kid, you're gonna love it if you can't ride the regular coasters, but we can, and so we would prefer to ride those rather than waiting, 2 hours in line for this coaster. But you can also see that since it's so small, it gets very crowded very easily. We decided to head over to the ABC Commissary to get our favorite shrimp tacos. We made the executive decision on this trip not to do any sit-down restaurants. We're just doing counter service the whole time because we're not here in the parks for a long time. We flew in last night, which was Friday.
Got in around 9 o'clock.
And we got in around 9-ish back to the hotel. And we thought about going into the park because it was, by the time we got there, it would have been open for another hour, but decided not to.
We also knew we needed to be here at like 7:30.
And we also, knew we needed to be here at 7:30. So we decided after the travel, we're just gonna come here. And then we figured we'd just do counter services because we're only gonna be here for the morning, early afternoon, and then Epcot tonight, and then Magic Kingdom tomorrow. And then we fly out tomorrow night. So it's a very quick in and out trip.
And as usual, Epcot is in the midst of a festival.
Yes, they're in the middle of the Flower and Garden Festival.
So there's a lot of things to try, and between this trip and the one in 2 weeks, we'll be able to basically rack off that list of what we have, which is a good list this year.
Yeah, because sometimes we don't have enough time to try all the things we want, so this was a great trip for that, because we can have some of the food items in the booths for the festival this week, and then we can have the other ones that we didn't try in a couple weeks. Otherwise, you just stuff yourself the whole time trying to do that. But we also split stuff, right? Like, we don't each get our own meal of it. We get one of the thing we want and we split it. So it helps with cost and helps with us not being over full, but it still is a lot. It's still a lot. Here's what we almost always get from here. It's the shrimp tacos. It comes with 2 tacos. I thought it was 3, but I think it was wrong.
I think it may have been once upon a time.
I don't know. I think I could be remembering that wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we're splitting it anyway, so 2 is perfect. 3 makes it awkward. It comes with rice and beans, which are both good. Like, I'm not normally a black bean person, although I do like refried beans.
These are so good.
These ones are great.
A little bit of is that the cotija?
Yeah, cotija.
Cojita.
Cojita. I think it's cotija. Anyway, you've probably seen other videos. I need to learn that word. And then we got a soda with it. So all of this was about 12-ish, and then with a soda altogether is about 18. But $18 for the 2 of us is fine. We didn't want to have a big meal because, as we were mentioning, we're planning on eating around the world when we go to Epcot in a few hours. We're actually kind of running out of things to do here, but we knew that we wouldn't be spending the whole day here and doing everything on this short trip. But we haven't decided if we want to go back to the room and rest a little bit, since it is getting kind of warm out there, before we go and do Epcot, where there's not a lot of shade. Decided to drop by the Dockside Diner, which is a boat that's in the Echo Lake. And we're gonna get, they have a lot of different stuff here, but we're gonna get that banana split parfait. That looks pretty good. There are some cool looking, like, the margarita sounds really good, but I don't know if I could enjoy a margarita $17 worth. But the banana split, sure, that looks pretty good. Chocolate mousse, banana boost, fresh strawberries, topped with whipped cream and spiced pineapple. Not sure what spiced pineapple is, probably tagine, because they put that on everything here if it's a pineapple, but we'll see. One of the nice things about taking trips so close to each other is that we don't feel like we need to accomplish anything particular on this trip itself. So we can just ride what we want to ride if the lines are good enough or short enough, or we can eat what we want to eat. We can just sit down and enjoy the ambiance if we want to. Josh and I used to be park commandos, and we would go all the time to the point of exhaustion. But recently being as of the last couple of years, we decided, after hanging out with my friend Dan, who came even more than I did, and as far as I know, he still is a Disney Vacation Club member. They're like, you know, sometimes we just want to come and enjoy the parks, and maybe we won't ride anything. Maybe we'll just have some food and have a seat and watch the shows. And so we're like, you know, that's a good idea. We come enough, we can do that. Not every single trip has to be a marathon of rides that we have to get everything in. Like right now, we know that if we can't ride something, we'll just ride it next time we come, and that's okay. So with that philosophy, we have ridden some things today because we rope dropped and got here early, but now that the parks have picked up and all of the rides are, you know, 60 minutes or more, we don't really plan to ride anything else. We just want to sit down, have, you know, we had some lunch, we're gonna have a little bit of a snack. We may take the boat over to Epcot just because we both like boats, rather than say doing the Skyliner, which is much faster, or we might go back and rest a little, maybe even hop in the pool. It's just lots of different things we can do that we don't feel like we are wasting our time being on vacation if we're not in a park doing something. It's okay to be at the hotel in a pool. That is still part of the vacation. It just took us a long time to get to that point. And here it is, the banana split mousse. Parfait, excuse me. Well, there's mousse in there.
Exactly.
This looks really good. And Josh also got a couple of waters because at counter services, if you ask for water, not bottled water, but like actual like water, tap water, then you don't have to pay for it.
This actually has a little water container out with cups nearby to help yourself.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, well, something to think about on a hot day like this.
No, keep that in mind.
Yeah, and we got great seating because we're near the boat over here. You can see the Incredibles over there. Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl are over there meeting people. And no Frozone though, just the two of them. But anyway, yeah, a great place to hang out. On the coast, quote unquote.
Hi, Mr. Incredible. Hi, Elastigirl.
How cool, they're just walking by.
Yeah.
I'm sad to report that the banana split parfait was not that great, at least for me. Let me explain. It was good, but the strawberry part of it overwhelmed everything. It was fresh strawberries in like a sauce. I mean, there's probably from like a can, but they were like big strawberries. Problem was the strawberries completely overpowered that. So it tasted more like a strawberry sundae that happened to have like some chocolate in it and like banana flavored ice cream than it did like a banana split. There's very little banana flavor, way too much strawberry flavor, which I know some people love that, but that's not what I wanted. Anyway, I don't not recommend it, right? Like I think a lot of people would like that. And it's not as sweet as you think it would be, which is also really good because sometimes desserts here can be really sweet. But if you like a heavy strawberry flavor in your banana splits, then this is going to be the dessert for you. I'm a big fan of them celebrating Herstory for Women's History Month. And lots of merchandise honoring the women of Star Wars. Leia down there. It's pretty interesting. I like it a lot. That image is on shirts, and you get mugs here too. The Force is with us is what that says. These mugs are 20 bucks. Actually, that's pretty normal for mugs. I just had a feeling they'd be more, but no, they're normals. Normal priced. It's actually really cool too. It's kind of a top, and then on the back, they have a panel with Leia on it, which I think is pretty cool. This is $45, and then some Leia maquettes and a puzzle, and I love this little accoutrement. It's got a little skull.
A little like turkey leg, and it's just
the rib cage.
It's
Yeah, it's a
wonderfully
wampa.
silly. It's wonderful.
I think it's cool as
and I
a
love the little
plush.
nose and eyes. It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute. I love this shirt down here too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is 60 for button shirt, but I think that is really cool.
60.
And then some droid stuff here. And then like the gang. It's Loungefly. Loungefly stuff is good.
Extra smalls and smalls. I'm actually sad
They
about
have
that.
some sweatpants. These are 50. And
May the force be with you.
may the force be with you. Oh, so it's like a kid's spirit jersey.
Yeah.
And those are, there it is.
Unmarked.
No, it's
Hold on.
55.
Oh, okay.
The bottom part's ripped off, but there's a sticker on it. This is cool. It's like an art kit. No, I guess somebody tried to open it already, so it's ripped.
Yeah,
But you have to push the buttons to open it up. Push that one, Josh.
I don't know if it'll still open
Will
up.
it
either.
open?
See?
Buttons are pushed.
But
No,
this is a cover over
it's
that
still
top.
over it. Okay, never mind. We can't open it, but I bet the back might have something in it.
There you go.
As to what it is. Okay, yeah, it's an art kit. So it comes with some paints and looks like colored pencils,
Well, here.
I guess. And
We've
there's
got
some
a paint
stencils.
palette, washable markers, paint tubes, crayons, colored pencils, watercolor paints, oil pastels, pencils, brushes, stencils, sketch pad,
Wow.
eraser pen.
So
For 30
if
bucks,
you have
this is a really good deal for a
artist
kid.
inclined child,
This
when
is
I was a
amazing.
kid, I would
For
love the
30
heck
bucks,
out of that.
That's a steal.
And a water bottle for 23 with Luke and R2. And then there's the mug there. Oh, that actually has like a
I think
lid
this
on it
might be,
too.
I think this might be.
Oh, it's
no,
like a
it's
T-ball?
It's
No.
No, it's just a mug. I
Just
thought
a
maybe
lid. How
it was
much
a
is the
candle.
mug? 25, because it's a little
But
bit
I
extra.
like- that's smart and it's stretchy where that's not going to fall right off too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then other toys. I mean, I feel like you could find these in the actual like Walmarts or Targets around your place. So it wouldn't be unique. I know. That's cute.
Always Vader fans.
No, that one doesn't have a price. Yeah, there's always Vader fans.
This is actually sewn in, and then the rest is like a.
Oh
screen
yeah,
print or
there's
something.
there's a
It's actually sewn.
you can feel that, whereas
Yeah.
this just feels like normal like
Screen print.
screen print material. I like the heart-shaped Millennium Falcon there. See if this one has a price. Nope. I'm guessing like 60 or 70. Moved to a different store, and now we're looking at Disney merchandise. So they have moved away from the 50th anniversary of Disney World to the 100th anniversary of the Disney Company. And so now we have 100th anniversary merchandise. So here is a Spirit jersey, and that is $90. That's pretty typical. That's the back, and then this is the front. They also have this as a long sleeve shirt. Oh, that's pretty nice, actually. I like that design. Anything on the back? Nope. And this is 45. Then some plush minis. Kind of a purple shirt. That's 40.
Which is interesting. She's the only one I see that gets an individual one. Maybe they're
And
spacing them
I think
out.
they're spacing them out because there are other ones. Because I'm pretty sure there's a Donald and there's a Goofy. Here's the Loungefly bags. Those are usually 75 if this still holds. I'm trying to find a tag. Oh, Josh found one. 78. Okay, so it's pretty close.
Those are pretty.
Yep, they
Not
have
for me, obviously, but
the ears. Those are pretty. There's one of the shirts we were looking at.
this is the jacket.
Oh, I like this kind of light jacket too. Yeah, there's the front, and then the back has. That's actually really nice,
It's
and
got
that
more
is.
weight to it than you think.
Yeah,
too.
that's like embroidered. I mean, some of it is printed,
Yeah.
but that the Disney is embroidered.
Yeah, and it's.
How much is
fuel.
that? Oh yeah, it's heavy.
70. This isn't just a raincoat fit.
This is. I've been considering getting this shirt the last couple of times we've come here. I just love this design. That's 30,
There's a double XL.
and we would get our
So you get 20% off.
20% off. So yeah, I've really been considering
That's
that just
really-
because I like it a lot.
And then this is the sweatshirt, but this is all sewn in. Look
Oh
at that.
yeah, look at that. That's
That is
all embroidered.
stunning.
I mean, these are printed on the side here, but this is pretty.
The whole thing, all the characters.
That is
everything.
70.
That's beautiful.
Wow,
work.
that is
I know.
pretty nice. So I keep saying that I don't need any more magic bands or like Magic Band merchandise kind of thing, right? Like I had my original one that we got when Magic Band Plus came out, and then I got one that had Hades and Jafar, two of my favorite Disney villains on it. I thought, you know, nothing's going to be more perfect than that. Well, I found a more perfecter one. I have always been a big fan of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, just like I was mentioning before, and they have an Oswald band. There's actually a lot of merchandise for Oswald because he goes back to the 100th anniversary. So there's probably a t-shirt I'm gonna get too, but they didn't have my size here. Anyway, I got a new Magic Band.
Yay!
There it is, and I'm a big fan of it because I love Oswald the Lucky Rabbit so much.
I love him.
The t-shirt is actually this, him coming out, and then on the back of the t-shirt is
The back of him.
The back of him,
Yeah,
like he's
awesome.
jumping to your chest, like, you know, one of those aliens chest bursters. I don't think that's what they're going for, but that is kind of what it looks like. Anyway, I didn't need to spend the money on this, but I don't care because I like it. That is going to do it for us from Hollywood Studios on this vacation. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks, doing a morning and an evening there, not in the same day, but separate. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to do what we want then. Oh, honestly, we did everything we wanted to do here. We would have ridden the Rock and Roller Coaster if it had been open, but it wasn't, so it's being refurbed. So we did all the things that we wanted to do that were available. So yeah, it was pretty productive. And we had the meal that we liked. Those shrimp tacos are so good.
So good.
Whatever sauce they put on them, it's good.
Yeah.
So
It's
worth
not
it.
horribly expensive. It's
And
totally reasonable.
so now we're working our way over to, there are a number of ways to get to Epcot from the Hollywood Studios. One of the ways is on a friendship boat, and
We get it.
they're about to leave, so we're gonna have to wait for the next one. There's a friendship boat that goes from here to Epcot. It stops in 3 different places along the way. Mostly like hotels. Well, I'm saying mostly, all hotels, different docks over in the boardwalk area. And that's okay, because we have time to kill before we can even get into Epcot, because it's not quite 2 o'clock yet. So waiting for the next one, not a problem. We didn't feel like running to the dock. And the other way you can get there, so let me turn my camera around. There's the boat leaving there. So if you come out of Hollywood Studios to the exit, the parking lot's over there, Skyliner's over there, we'll talk about it in a second. And if you go to the left, then you come over here and this is where the boat is. And then another way you can get there is by going on the Skyliner, which is right over there. And the Skyliner will take you to Caribbean Beach first, and then you have to transfer and head to Epcot to get there. And then the third way is there's a walkway. I don't know if you can see it way over there. I'm going to zoom in as far as I can, but you can see, I think you can see some people on the walkway over there. There's a walkway that goes between the two as well. Here's the list of the stops on the friendship boat: Swan and Dolphin Hotel, Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk, and then you get to Epcot in the International Gateway. So pretty much the same place that the Skyliner lands, that's where the boat lands. And you go in sort of the back area rather than in the front where the buses drop off. So that is really going to do it for us from Hollywood Studios. We are heading to Epcot now. So keep an eye out for that video coming here soon.